Yo, what's up guys? You're back with your man TechNick, your go-to guy for videos on the latest tech. Now today, it's about the latest tech of 2019 thus far. This is my first best phones of the year video, and I will be telling you my thoughts on what I think are the best phones of 2019 mid-year so far. We have some incredible beasts here that I have kept my hands on just so that I could bring you guys this video, and I will be rolling in with some new flagships right after this video goes out. I hope that you guys really enjoy this video, and I am so damn excited to go through all of the devices that I think you should pick up. Guys, this is TechNick, and without further ado, let's go! Okay guys, so in 5th place we have the Xiaomi Mi 9. This is one absolutely stunning phone to look at. It has top-end features, and its #1 selling point is that wonderful Snapdragon 855 chipset. For as cheap as it is, this is one of the cheapest phones that you can get with that chipset inside of it, as well as a Sony IMX586 48 megapixel sensor paired with an ultra wide and a telephoto lens as well. This phone is great in the camera department and this chipset department, but it's slightly lower down in the battery department, hence why it hit 5th place over here. Nevertheless, it is still one of my favorite phones of the year. Though that battery could have been bigger, it is just 3,300 milliamperes. However, it does fare quite well in my battery drain test. Make sure you guys check that out after this video later on. But other than that, it comes paired with ridiculously fast 27-watt fast charging and the first in the world 20-watt fast wireless charging, which is great, and you don't really see that in a budget flagship such as the Xiaomi Mi 9. The front display is really great. It is an AMOLED display, and it has some really great features that go along with it. It is 6.39 inches with a teardrop notch style design. It has an under fingerprint sensor as well as a seriously fast and snappy facial recognition system, and the phone is absolutely stunning to look at. It has plenty features, but unfortunately the screen does not go bright enough outdoors, and it is capped at just Full HD plus resolution. Nevertheless, it is very hard to find better value for money in a smartphone. In 5th place, we have the Xiaomi Mi 9. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Huawei P30 Pro in 4th place. What could be better than this phone right now? But hang on. The battery is amazing. 4,200 milliampere beauty. Fast charging, you don't get much faster. 40-watt fast charging, wireless fast charging, reverse wireless fast charging, curved LED panel, with a crazy great 6.47-inch display with a teardrop notch design as well. It looks absolutely stunning to the eye. The design is incredible. Pretty much the best camera setup you can get on any phone, period. But the camera is not what defines a phone, guys. Many people go for phones because of cameras. I'm not one of those people. I like smartphone cameras, but that is not what I'm about. I'm about the phone as a whole. So I give it 4th place because, guys, one thing, if you do want to buy a camera phone, you want the absolute best in any scenario, the Huawei P30 Pro is the phone to go for. But if you're looking for a great all-round device, the lackluster 1080p resolution, which cannot go up to 1440p, is a slight disappointment, as well as a lack of stereo sounding speakers as well. Now, the thing with the Huawei P30 Pro, the reason why I have it in 4th place is because the Mate 20 Pro that released the end of last year with the same Kirin 980 chipset in it has better features. It has the same of everything except the cameras are slightly inferior to these, but it has a 1440p resolution and 3D facial mapping. So in my books, that is a better buy, and it is cheaper. I've not included it here because it is indeed a phone from 2018, and this is the year of 2019, and this is Huawei's flagship device so far this year. And it is a great phone, guys, don't get me wrong. I have used it as my daily driver for a couple days, and I really did enjoy it when I was spending my time with the device, though I do think that there are better phones out there if camera is not your only concern. 3rd place was a bit of a tough decision, guys, but I had to give it to the ZTE Axon 10 Pro. Now, in China, this phone starts at just $460, but if you buy it from overseas, you're looking at about 600 USD. So they do bump it up a bit because they have a global version of it, and I guess they kind of have the right to do it since the OnePlus 7 Pro goes to $700. And this phone really packs a lot in it, guys. It has wireless charging, wired charging, though neither of them are that fast, to be honest with you. 4,000 milliampere battery life, and it does really great. So you're looking at around 8 hours of screen on time with this device. A 48 megapixel sensor in here paired with a 20 megapixel ultra wide sensor and an 8 megapixel telephoto lens, which can get up to 3 times optical zoom. The cameras sound great, and they really are great. You guys should check my comparison out with the OnePlus 7 Pro and this, though this does sport the lower end Samsung GM1 sensor and not the Sony IMX586 sensor, so don't expect the best possible shots out there. This is not a phone for camera use only, though if you get it for all the other reasons, the camera will still suit you just fine. And all the other reasons being a Snapdragon 855 chipset. All the phones that I've mentioned so far, other than the Huawei P30 Pro, is using a Snapdragon 855 chipset, which is 7nm technology. That's why the batteries are so great as well. That's why they last so darn long. Now, another thing with this phone is it comes with IP68 water certification, and I think that this is probably one of the, if not the cheapest phone with IP68 water certification, guys. This phone can get dunked in water hassle-free, unlike other phones out there, such as the OnePlus devices. Now, we also have a budget phone, which is paired with a curved LED panel. So that is really great to see. If you take this and you compare it to the Huawei P30 Pro, guys, it looks almost identical. It has the exact same 6.47-inch display with the exact same resolution, and honestly, the screens look exactly the same to me as well. And this phone costs $400 to $500 cheaper than that. So you tell me, what are you missing here, guys? You get stereo sound DTS:X speakers on here as well, and it is really great. Honestly, it checks all the right boxes for me. I couldn't be happier. I would have to say that this is my budget phone of the year so far, though there are cheaper phones out there. But I would recommend throwing an extra 100 or 200 in to grab a device such as this, which gets you absolutely everything. I'm really happy that ZTE are back in the game and bringing us such great devices. Now, this was tough, guys, between the OnePlus 7 Pro and the crowned winner. But the OnePlus 7 Pro gets second place, guys. And I must say, the main reason it got second place is because they upped their price, they did up their features, but they also lost some as well. First point, they lost their headphone jack, which kind of sucks in my opinion. Second off, they increased their price quite a lot. But this phone is absolutely stunning, guys. With a 6.65-inch fluid AMOLED display, which is hitting 90 Hz refresh rate at a resolution of 1440p. This is one of the most beautiful displays I've ever seen. But the main reason it hit that second place result here, guys, is because of the display. It is a gorgeous display nonetheless, but in sunlight, putting it next to my Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, it is just so darn hard to see what is going on the screen, even with full brightness. It's not that bad in most daylight situations, but when that sun is screaming, you can see the difference, guys. You really can. And that is what differentiates Samsung from OnePlus. Nevertheless, I've been using this as my daily driver since I got my hands on it, and I cannot say I'm disappointed whatsoever. The screen is insanely immersive. I've never seen such small bezels. The performance is mad, and the fluidity with a 90 Hz refresh rate is absolutely stunning. The pictures that I've taken on it have been absolutely incredible, but the one disappointment that there is that OnePlus, though there is a glass back, there is still no wireless charging, but they do still have 30-watt wide charging, which is now their wonderful warp charge. So I'm really happy with the OnePlus 7 Pro, guys, and I cannot give many complaints to the phone itself other than the display brightness compared to Samsung devices, but it is still an incredible phone and deserves to come in second place rock solid. Now, guys, many people have asked me, what is your daily driver? And honestly, 90% of the time I answer and say, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, since it released, that is. Now, this isn't just because I am a Samsung fan, and I am a Samsung fan, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but this is honestly the best all-round device. Yes, it is a bit pricey, but yes, it has gone on sale quite a few times since its launch, but the display is absolutely unspoken of, guys. It is seriously incredible. I've never seen a phone with a better display. 1440p resolution, but the Samsung displays on these S-line devices are just absolutely incredible. With over 1,000 nits of brightness, this is the brightest phone on the planet, guys, and you can see it when walking outside during the day. But now I cannot just give first place because of that. This gives you IP68 certification. Unlike the OnePlus 7 Pro, you get an option for micro SD card slot storage expansion as well. You get seriously great consistent shots, better than the OnePlus 7 Pro, though not quite the standard of the Huawei P30 Pro. But unlike the P30 Pro, it ticks all the right boxes for me. I really do enjoy Samsung One UI software on it. I really do enjoy using my Samsung Galaxy Watch for reverse wireless charging, which I unfortunately cannot use on the Huawei P30 Pro. Yes, there is reverse wireless charging, there's not the biggest thing around. Unfortunately, where the P30 Pro gets the check as well as the OnePlus 7 Pro is the fast wired charging. Now this is just capped to 15 watts, which really sucks, and there's been some toss arounds there that it might get 25 watts with the software update, but so far I don't think that's going to happen, guys. 15 watt wireless charging as well, but the OnePlus 7 Pro did not have wireless charging, and this does, and it charging at the same rate as the P30 Pro as well. But guys, looking at this compared to something like the P30 Pro, it has a much faster Snapdragon 855 chipset in compared to Huawei's older generation Kirin 980. Though they are both 7nm technology, that is last year's version of it, and we'll only see the new Kirin 990 chipset, I guess you could say, at the end of the year. So far, for me, there is no pop-up mechanism on here like the OnePlus 7 Pro. It is a solid phone that is waterproof. It checks all the boxes for me. We have 2 lenses in the front as well for an ultra-wide shot of your selfie, as well as better bokeh effects on your portrait shots. Guys, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is my phone of the year so far here in June 2019. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that. Now, before we wrap this video up, guys, I just want to end off with the fact that there are still 3 phones that just didn't make the cut, but it was really hard for me to make the decision on that 5th place phone, which was indeed the Xiaomi Mi 9. And those 3 phones are in random order over here: the Redmi K20 Pro, the Nubia Red Magic 3, and the Lenovo Z6 Pro. Now let's go ahead and start with the Redmi, since it is the newest. Now, I have not used this phone as much as I would have liked to in the past week since I got my hands on it. It has a really solid pop-up mechanism, but coming from a OnePlus 7 Pro, the pop-up mechanism is quite slow, guys. I mean, if you take a look here, it really does take its time to come up. But this phone is less than half the price of the OnePlus 7 Pro. Saying that this has killed the OnePlus 7 Pro, in my opinion, it has not, but it has done a superb job at great value. It takes really great photos with a Sony IMX586 sensor lens. It has a pop-up selfie cam. It has a really great under-display fingerprint sensor with a Snapdragon 855 chipset as well. It looks absolutely stunning. I really do dig this carbon fiber look at the back here, and I really like their separate camera from the other 2 as well. You get an ultra wide and a telephoto. It has a bigger battery than the Mi 9 as well, though it does not have wireless charging, even though the Mi 9 does. It definitely feels a little bit more solid than the Xiaomi Mi 9, and they have the same size screen, though this one is wonderful to look at since it indeed has no notches on it whatsoever, giving it that wonderful bezel-less look of the OnePlus 7 Pro without spending too much money. But nevertheless, there is no curved screen here, so those side edges do look a little bit more prominent with the borders over there, as I'm sure you guys have seen before. Nevertheless, this is one absolutely incredible phone, and I cannot wait to start using it more often, and please stay tuned for more videos on this device. Then we have this wonderful Nubia Red Magic 3, and I must say that this phone is an absolute monster with a 6.65 inch 90Hz refresh rate AMOLED 1080p panel. It is right up there with the OnePlus 7 Pro. The only difference between the 2 is that it does not have 1440p, so it does get paired with a 5000 mAh battery, and yes, that means great battery life, right? With a 7nm 855 chipset as well, and 90Hz fluidity in it. No, guys, this phone did not fare too well in my battery drain test. Make sure that you guys check it out. With a 5000 mAh battery, it was beat by phones with just 4000 mAh batteries, which is 1000 less than this. Nevertheless, if you guys want gaming, this is the phone for you. We have captive buttons on the side here for FPS gaming, which is really, really great. We have a game hub mode, which has a switch on the side of the phone. We have LED effects at the back of the device here, as well as a physical fingerprint sensor, which can be remapped for buttons as well when playing games. We have a Sony IMX586 sensor, so they don't drop it in the camera department, though it is only one camera, so only one lens, but nevertheless, the Google Pixel devices, only one lens. So guys, don't judge it only that it has one lens, and it has an IMX586 sensor, so it still takes really great pics. There is no NFC because of that metal back, as well as no wireless charging, but it does come with 27-watt fast wireless charging, and it has front-facing dual stereo speakers as well. This is one of the best phones that I've ever tested out, and though this is the Chinese variant, so I cannot get Google on here, I will have to flash it. There is a global variant of it as well, and don't forget that wonderful headphone jack at the top as well. This is one incredible phone, guys, and I would have been heartbroken not to have mentioned it here as a runner-up for phone of the year 2019 so far. And then last but not least, guys, certainly not least, this is a little diamond in the rough for me, the Lenovo Z6 Pro. Now, this phone, it really took a lot of work for Lenovo to get here. They had a lot of hate with the Lenovo Z5 Pro and the Z5 Pro GT. That whole sliding thing didn't really work. But Lenovo are honestly back in the game now, guys. They may lie about a couple things, though this 4000 mAh battery, I just have to mention, longest lasting screen on time on my channel ever. Guys, with over 9 hours of screen on time with just a 4000 mAh cell, this is the best phone for battery in the world, period. Paired with a Snapdragon 855 chipset and an option for micro SD card slot support. No IP certification, but there is a headphone jack. We unfortunately do not have dual sound stereo speakers, but we have a wonderful design at the back with 4 cameras, including a dedicated video cam, which has insane stabilization, though it is just capped at 720p. That is called hyper video, by the way. Is unfortunately no IMX586 sensor on the back here. It is the Samsung GM1 sensor as seen on the Axon 10 Pro. So it'll take very similar snaps to that, so make sure you check that video out, as well as the video where I reviewed the camera on this wonderful device, and it actually stacked up to do some amazing things, guys. This is a great all-round phone, guys. For its price, I don't think it's going to get a global launch, though it is around $400. So it is honestly a steal if you ask me. This is one of the most incredible phones I've ever used for the price, and it feels seriously premium. The Lenovo Z6 Pro had to get a mention here before I wrap up, guys. All the devices that I've mentioned here today, I could happily recommend to any of you guys looking for a new phone. They're all absolutely incredible, and I must say there are very few phones that can compete with any of these devices. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and until next time, guys, this is TechNick.